Hey guys, it's Gummer here, bringing you another Warhammer Battle Report. It's the first meeting of our local club here for January. I got a couple of games in just last Sunday. This is actually my second game. I will get the first game up at some point. It was a shocking loss, spoiler alert. But I just want to sort of do it justice and go through what I think I could do, and I thought that other Battle Report, so this one's probably just going to be a bit quicker. And so I did this one first. Not that I'm trying to avoid the other game. I'll try and get it up. Yeah, so this one is no comms, no anything. It's just straight Warhammer. We're just playing. I haven't played this player before. We've been trying to get a game in for the last year, probably, when we catch up, like at club days and stuff. We bump into each other, but we finally got a game in, so that's good. He plays Beastmen. It's actually a Legion of Chaos Beastman in the fact that he's using Slaanesh, but that's pretty much it. It's just Beastmen. But yeah, it does add a bit to them, which is good. And I brought my Orcs, and as you can see by the picture and the title, I brought Azhag, something different, and yeah, just to see how it goes. So for my list, obviously Azhag the Slaughterer is in there, and he's going to be a level 3 death. But I've also brought the Big Warg, level 4, Shrunken Head, Fences, the Full Hog, Black Orc BSB in the block of 37 Savages. Got my 8 Trolls, 2 lots of 5 Wolf Riders, some Spider Riders, and then the normal rare section you see with the double Mangler, double Doom Nova, double Rock Lover. Yeah, pretty much almost net list, except with Azhag in there. So yeah, not as much chaff as you would use in an Orc army though, which is that's why I brought the Spider Riders along as well. Now his list, I think it's alright. He's got the Great Brave Shaman, 4-up ward. I don't know what the other stuff does. I think one gives him magic when he kills people or something. He went level 4 beasts. He's got a Warboar BSB, 40 block of Gores, 2 Tuskor Chariots, 2 Ungor Raiders, 2 lots of 10 Gores. They all go scouting. 34 Bestie Gores with a standard discipline, 6 Razor Gores in a big unit, which I didn't expect. And then he's got a Gorgon. And so everything's marked Slaanesh in there except the, I guess it's, not that the Razor Gore aren't, I know that, and I guess the Gorgon isn't, but I guess it's doesn't really matter because it's stubborn 10 or something anyway. So yeah, the Slaanesh help heaps for that type of list. I have played a couple of Beastmen players just to go into what some of the strategy was. And I always tend to think they seem to use a lot of those Razor Gores in single units. So I was sort of expecting that, but then block of 6 of them, yeah, they hit quite a bit. But anyway, so here we go. So my magic, what do I get? I don't think I swapped a single spell here. I think I just rolled exactly what I really wanted. So the Big Warg, you get the ones that I wanted. Fist of Gork. I need as much combat punch as I can, so that's great. And then of course Hand of Gork, here we go, Foot. And Purple Sun, Fate, and Soul Blight. So I was back and forth on just swapping one of them out for that was probably going to be Fate, I guess, for what's it called? Not Soul Blight, Spirit Leech. But then when I found out his Gorgon is leadership 10, whatever, it was like that was the target that I'd probably use it on. So yeah, and everything else leadership 9. I thought, nah, we'll just keep that. So good debuff. Purple Sunnies, like me, they're mostly low initiative, so that's going to be good. And then I'll get the Big Warg that I want. And he get Wizen's, Flock, Curse, and Savage Beast. So here's my army. So just running through deployment, how I sort of dropped and things like that. I dropped my Wild Wolf Riders out on the left first, just to sort of see. I was always going to probably try go one side of the board. And I've got 3 chaff units, fast cab, that I can get up, and obviously want to try and stop one of his blocks, probably the Gore unit. And the Razor Gore unit, and then try and take out his Bestie Gores. That was sort of my plan, and as it sort of unfolded, it sort of worked out that way too, as you'll see when I go to his side of the board. So I've got my 2 fast cav out on the left, the Trolls, then the Savages, with my level, obviously the Shrunken Head guy in there, and the BSB, and then my other fast cav out on the right, the artillery at the back, and of course the Manglers are going to sit back there and protect them from his raiders and all that sort of stuff, and then the Azhag's just hanging out in the middle, and he can sort of go where he wants. The Slaanesh build of the Raiders really plays havoc as well, because yes, just not immune to panicking is really makes them a lot more tougher than what you'd expect. Otherwise, yeah. So looking at his side, so out on the left, he ended up dropping chariots first, so that was good. I saw them come out there, and I thought, good, I can ignore them for at least half the game. And then I believe he did put the Gore unit down too pretty early. So when I saw that, that's when I really committed to going to the right. You can see the Razor Gore then, and then he's got his Bestigal unit, and then out there he's got his Gorgon. So the Gorgon out there, I'm going to have to try and chaff him up with the Wolf Riders was the first thing, and then I'm going to probably have to see what happens. Like, my options are obviously Rock Lobbers, chaff him up, hit him with Rock Lobbers, and maybe a Mangler and things like Foot and stuff to try and do enough damage. I could throw Azhag in there, but I don't know, he can do a crazy number of attacks, so I don't really trust a 5-up ward. So I'd rather not do that if I can get away with it. Although I do have the Fated Bajuna, which I think is worth throwing at it if I have to knock off, 1 or 2 wounds. That Marsh there, we're playing as a forest as well. So Vanguards, I don't send them flying up there. I don't want to get them charged straight away because I want to use them for chaffing duties. So I just bring them up where then once he moves, I can sort of, put them where I want effectively, which is the plan. He wins the dice roll to go first, and he starts off with some terrible dice rolls. So 2 of his ambushes I can choose, so I throw him over to the left flank, and then out of the other one didn't come on, and then the other one he rolled that flank. So good for me. He's got these guys are going to take a couple of turns to get into the action. But of course, everything else I'm pretty sure it went full speed or close to full speed. Just coming up as hard as it can. See the Gorgon over there. So at this point, I'm thinking, it's if I can get if I can chaff up his Razor Gore and his Gore, I can probably try and take on those Bestigors. It's a long charge. I probably can't charge now, but moving up, chaffing up his other ones, letting even I'll take a charge off them. That's fine too. He's hitting last, so we'll see how we go. This is a shot of something hitting my trolls. I can't remember what it was, but he took a wound. It could have been magic. I just can't remember. He does get, it was only 5-3, so I don't know if that was magic, but what else has he got that's shooting? No idea. Anyway, Curse, he gets Curse on this, so this, they say Warhammer's all about movement, and this puts a spanner in the works, because I can't really move up hard without losing a fair few of them. And playing against other armies I wouldn't care, but Beastmen are blocked up like me. They got just as much numbers as me, so I don't really want to be losing a heap of them, knowing that I'm going to need them for steadfast and things like that in combat. I think I threw 3 dice at this, all my dice to dispel it, and I think he had too many and got them. And then my turn 1, and this happens. So. And I reckon these first 2 things, him getting Anrahir off on my savages and this next step really changed the first half of the game, I thought. Both my Wolf Riders failed their animosity and had to charge. so this little unit goes straight into the Gore, being the closest unit. As a result, I have to send my spiders this way, but they're only movement 7, so they're not really getting up there that far. Right now, they're not chaffing at all. And this one, which was a unit of 5, went into the Gorgon. So I'm giving him a turn now, which sucked. So what I actually did in my random movement was just sent that Mangler straight through and managed to put, I can't remember how many wounds this thing has, but got him down to 2 wounds. And took out 4 of my guys, but they're going to die anyway, so I thought let's try and put some wounds on this guy before he gets too close. And of course, the worst thing about this too isn't just the fact that he's going to kill them and have his turn to do something. Is I can't rock lobber him either. So I'm like, Now he's going to be right up on my Doomed over there, and I really can't do anything about it. I do, so I've moved up a bit. Obviously with Anra here, I didn't march my savages up. Maybe that's a bad thing. Maybe I should have. So I sort of have to hang back a bit, which wasn't originally my plan. Um, and then what I did with Azhag is I kept him back as well and just turned him around in case he needs to lend some support with magic or whatnot to the Gorgon when it comes in. So magic for me, I get Soul Blight off on these guys, and I'm going to combo it up with the Rock Lobbers and try and thin the herd. And then I actually, you can see the Spider Eyes right there, actually sent the Hand of Gork over and moved them up. I probably, in hindsight, I'm thinking about this, I probably should have put them, double chaffed the Razor Gore on the Gore, I don't know why. That's yeah, I don't know, it's probably a silly move there. The Rock Lobber takes about 8 of these guys, and of course, yeah, my Wolf Rider's dead, and now he's got now an extra attack. I think he's up to 7 or something attacks now, and he's ready to charge my Doom Diver. And that's just a picture of where I put the Spider Riders. So yeah, that's probably, I went against what I was thinking initially, and I should have just tried to stop his other 2 units and let those Bestigor either hang back on their own or come up unsupported and then try and get them, but. Yeah, bad move on my part. So, Beastmen turn 2, these guys are just moving on, and his other ones do come on right near my Rock Lobber. So, I've got nothing much back there. I've got one Mangler left, which is going to have to be used for that Gorgon. And of course, yeah, this guy goes into my Doom Diver. So yeah, he sends the Bestigor into those Spider Eyes, so they're going to die. And the other thing that I didn't realise this, which is bad, is his great. I'm pretty sure it's his great Bray Shaman or whatever gets D3 for every wound he causes or whatever. He gets power dice, which I didn't realise. So yeah, I've just fed him a nice chunk of wounds there for him to do. So definitely, in hindsight, should have put them in front of the Gore and the Razor Gore instead. So he throws Flock of Doom at Skull Muncher here and Mazhag. Actually, I think I let this through. Just I thought I'll risk it. And yeah, he doesn't wound Azhag. He puts 2 wounds on poor little Skull Muncher there. And he gets Savage Beasts off on himself, I think. I don't think it's bubbled, but not that he really needs it, but yeah. And of course, there goes my Doom Diver. It's dead, and this guy only overruns 1d6, so he just ends up there. So he's got 3 wounds left. He's got a wound back from, I think, whatever that does. And Mangler's right there to try and take him out. So my turn too. So I mean, movement-wise, I push up. The problem is I push up heaps with the trolls, and yeah, I mean the troll. I don't know why. Oh, that's right. I moved them up, thinking I'm going to move them up, but then I'm going to try and Hand of Gork them over to the right of the Bestigor there. That's why I've got the. And I made sure Azhag was also out of line of the charge arc of the Bestigor. So, and then I ummed and ahed which way to face Azhag, and I thought just in case I'm whiff the. Well, the Mangler's not guaranteed to take out this Gorgon. It's tough to 6. So I thought I've got to have need. At least this way I can shoot, what's it called, Fate of Bajuna or something like that at it as well, just to try and take it out. And give at least my Rock Lobber and Doom Diver another chance to shoot next turn. So yeah, that's why I've moved the trolls up there. I just need them as far up as I can to try and throw all dice at hand. The risk is obviously if I don't get it, those Razor Gores are coming in hard, but yeah, what can I do? But yeah, this works out. The Mangler takes out the Razor Gore, so that's a big chunk of points that I get there. But of course, Azhag's facing the wrong way now. I really can't charge or anything, which sucks. Magic's 9 to 5, and he dispels Hand of Gork. And to be honest, he either dispelled it. I'm trying to think. I think I've rolled really poor. I think I threw enough dice at it, but I don't know if I 6 diced it. So maybe I should have. I mean, it had to be. The rule is if you need a spell off, throw 6 dice, and looking back, I can't remember if I did or not, and if I did, I rolled poor enough that he could dispel it on his dice, which is what he did. Um, so without Soul Blight and stuff, I think I went for try to thin these guys out a bit. So I'll take a few off, but not a whole heap. See, the thing is with the Slaanesh mark, you can't even take chariots out and stuff. No, for panic, so it sort of sucks a bit. But anyway, it makes them a lot tougher. He's turn 3, so in come these 10 additional hand weapon bestigors, which are great, great, great scouting units now, or ambushes now, with the Slaanesh mark. I think it's good. So that chariot, that rock lob is doomed. And then luckily for me, the Razor Girls get in here, and the Horde fails its charge, which gives me a chance, although I don't know how much of a chance. But I do have more bodies than him. And that's just the rest of his army coming around to ready just to destroy me. So I was like, oh no. Because after my first game, I'm like, this is turning the same direction. But anyway, don't want to give too much away. What's happened here? The Bestigor have hung back. I don't know what I'm showing there. Sorry. Yeah. Anyway, going to his magic phase, he rolls up. It's a 6 to 5 magic phase, and because we're playing Reign of Chaos table, obviously because it's legions. 2 of the runes come off this rock lobber, which sucked. I think I dispelled Flock, and then he uses his extra 3 dice to push through Curse of Anra again on my savages. So that's where feeding those spiders in hindsight. So yeah, bad move on my part. But I'll chalk that down to not knowing what I was doing. And this picture's upside down, sorry about that, but you can see he gets Wizen's off on these Razor Girl. So these are, I'm probably going to be wrong, but it's something like Strength 7, Toughness 6, or Toughness 7, Toughness 6. Yeah, Toughness 6. Strength 7 on the charge, Toughness 6, 4 attacks each. Yeah, it's going to hurt. My trolls are a glorified chaff unit at the moment, which is pretty sad. That Rogglehopper dies, obviously. But the overrun, they only go about 3 inches or something. So that's good. My Rock Lobber gets a turn. And yeah, he kills my trolls. This Wizen's probably was very pivotal. I mean, obviously if his Horde had got in, I would have died anyway. But he ended up only killing, he did 5 wounds. So it wasn't a heap. So if you think if he didn't have Wizen's up, it could have been a bit less. But I only did 1 wound back. So with Wizen's, with his toughness only 5, I probably could have done a bit more. Which means my break test wouldn't have been. I think right now the break test was, on a 4 or 5 rollable. Might have got that closer to a 7 or something re-rollable, which, it was 50-50 or a little bit less than 50-50. I probably, if Wizen's wasn't up. So that was a big loss there. I don't know, what is it? It was at 200 and something, 80 points lost, my trolls, and now I don't have much of an army left. Although a block of savages and Azhag is a lot of points, so. And that's what I've got. So anyway, my turn 3, what happens? So I move Azhag up in a position where, if he moves around, hopefully I can still charge him. And a purple sun down there will be nice as well. And I just stumble forward with it. I just go 4 inches up again with the savages. So just not trying to tempt too much fate with the Curse of Anra here, although maybe on hindsight I should have. The other thing here is the Razor Gore are more than 12 outside his general, and they're not Marcus Slaanesh. So, if we could get a panic on them somehow, that would be good, but it means rolling pretty good with my rock lobbers and stuff. Because I'd have to take out 2 of them, which is a lot. So magic was 9 to 5. I 6 dice hand and dumped these guys right there. So yeah, now I'm feeling better because I'm like, cool. The Gore can't touch me for another turn, and he can't get out of that. So I can double charge him with Azhag and my savages, and should delete that unit. That's the plan. What I do now, I can't remember if those Razor Gore were within 6. of that chariot. I think they were, and that's you can see there's a marker on that chariot there, the Tuskor chariot. I went for it with the Doom Diver and the Rock Lobber. I think the Rock Lobber totally missed, and the Doom Diver hit and did 3 wounds, just not enough to cause a panic test in the Razor Gore. But yeah, I tried. So Beastman turn 4, everything's just sweeping around, ready to follow me. And he's Horde down the bottom. Gore, not Horde, sorry. Going to my last Rock Lobber. The Razor Gore spin around. And yeah, I've got to kill these Bestigor and somehow overrun enough that I'm not going to get charged in the rear, but what can you do? And I like this model, so I took a picture. As you do. And Magic's 9 to 5, and he rolls that Dark Prince thing and rolls a 6 on Azhag, and I'm like, no! So we're 3d6 on your leadership, take wounds. I'm like, oh, this is going to suck. But I rolled an 8 on 3 dice, so yes! Azhag survives. I mean, I don't think he would have died, but he would have, because we were playing, I'm pretty sure you have to randomise it still, but between the mount, but, you know, Skull Muncher may have died as well. But anyway, we missed that. Now, in terms of magic, I think what was it? It was a choice of stopping Wizzens and a choice of stopping something. Oh, Curse of Anrahir. That's right. -1 to hit and all that. And I went, no. So I threw all my dice to stop Curse and let him have Wizzens, thinking that the number of hits I can do, I've got the extra strength with choppers, I've got Stomp. You know, he can be Toughness 5 and I'll probably do enough wounds anyway. So that's what we did, and he got Wizzens up. And I remember to call a Warg as well, so I've got D3 +1 combat res going into this. So in we go. This is how you want to attack a Bestigor unit. Magic phase. What was it? Yeah, magic. This was what I needed for this magic phase. So I got 8 to 6, and I got everything off. I don't know. I can't remember if it was just poor dice rolling on his part or what. But I got Soulblight off. So that negates Wild Form. I got Iwigo off, reroll to hits on the Savages. Azhag already gets reroll to hits, so now, you know, I'm equaling his hatred ability. And then I got Fists off on my Shaman. Not that he's in combat there, but, you know, for next turn. And, of course, that is, yeah, too much. I think he did a couple of wounds to me with his characters first. And then I got to go next because his Soy Strikes last and took every Bestigor off. So yeah, I elected to pursue. Well, I have to pursue with the Savages, and they don't go very far there, but they do enough, or Azhag, whichever one it was, does enough to kill the Bestigor, run them down, get all the character points, and that's a massive swing. But the problem is my big block now is facing a Gore Horde and 6 angry Razor Gore up the arse. So this is, yeah, it's not looking good. I wish I could flee the next charge, but it's not going to be able to happen. And lucky for me, he fails. I think him and another mate of ours were sitting there just going, man, I think you'll fail your charge with the Horde on a double 1 or a 3, you know, 1 or 2, and he rolls double 1s. So he's given me a chance here because the way it happened, he couldn't get all his he couldn't complete the charge with, you know, maximizing all those Razor Gore in the back of my Savages. Although having a look at it, I think he still gets all the attacks anyway. Yeah, he probably does. So it didn't matter. So in that sense, it's probably worse for me. But I mean, yeah. But yeah, it was good not to get that massive block of Horde in there, which would have negated any Steadfast I was going to have. So that's given me a chance, as long as I can get some buffs up and stuff, and you know, I'm going to probably lose this combat, but if I can swing around, you never know. I must have missed some pitches, but by this turn 5, I've lost all my artillery, so my army is just up there with the Savages instead. And here's a picture. Is this before or after? Maybe just after movement, probably. Everything's just moving up still. Yeah, so after combat, looks like I've killed 3 Savage Orcs, 3 Razor Gore, which is great. And he's wiped off an entire rank and a bit, I think, of savages. And I did lose the comment, I remember that, and that was steadfast. So now I'm not frenzied. So I do manage to spin round though. What I do is actually move my characters over into combat so I can try and use them to do some damage as well. And Azak comes up here for a purple sun, I think it was. But yeah, at least he can't get a lot of his gore into combat here to do much, which is good. But in my turn 5, end up, it looks like a Soul Blight these guys. I don't know if I got a purple sun up there. I don't think I did, because I think I only rolled 3-2 or something for magic. Yeah, that's what it was. So I just Soul Blighted them, took them out, which worked out pretty bad, and then did probably the worst mistake, I think, of the game. I don't know if it would have cost me, because there's no guarantee I would have survived anyway, but I didn't reform into ranks. So all I did was just spin him a bit. So, he's got 2 and a bit ranks, extra ranks there, and I've got 1 and a bit. If I could have, should have reformed to ranks. You never know what could have happened there. I guess the other thing is potentially, what I probably should have done as well maybe is not moved Azhag there and maybe moved him up in a sort of chaffing position. So when those Razorgores died, they would have had to charge Azhag. I should, and then there's a few things I could have done, and then even giving him my BSB or something for a double flee, something like that to try and keep the points. But for some reason I just left him there. So turn 6, in they come, and he has a ridiculous amount of attacks and just wipes my guys off the board. That's pretty much how the game ends. My turn 6, I throw a purple sun down his line and take out half his scores, but we didn't take him off. Points-wise wasn't going to make a difference, so the point swing just swings hugely back in his favour. Which just giving him my savages there when technically I didn't have to. There was a couple of options there between going into 5 wide and seeing if I'd have enough left, just because he had, I think it was like 41 attacks hitting me, so I would have reduced that by at least 10 or so by going 5 wide. But also, moving Azhag in my turn 5 and maybe setting up a bit of a double flee instead probably would have helped. Now, is Azhag immune to cycle? He's subject to stupidity, so he probably can't flee, so hell, even give him Azhag, let him try and let him kill Azhag, but instead I gave him 900 and something points. In the end, it ends up being about a 350 point victory point to the Beastmen. Preserving the Savage block instead of Azhag probably would have been a better showing, but at the end of the day I wasn't too worried about points when we were playing the game. It wasn't until afterwards that you added up and go, oh crap. It was a good one. It was a great game, and going back to about turn 4 when I hand of gawked my savages up, that was pretty much I had the savages and Azhag left. The rest of my army was decimated, but when you add it up, there's a good nearly 1,500 points just in those 2 units, so, or probably more. So it's even though it looks bad, once I took the Bestigor out, I had a chance, but just blew it at the end. But it was a good game, and I definitely need a rematch now on that one. It was a fun list. It was good to have death magic there, just try some stuff. So I rate him. He's pretty cool. Probably not great for a tournament, but definitely fun for a casual game. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. I'll try to get my other game up before the end of the week because I'm going away for a week. But if not, I'll probably see you after that. Cheers, guys.